I like never do anything to my face anymore. So like I look back at some of my videos and I notice that my eyebrows are like all jacked up. And I'm just like, bro, straighten yourself out a little bit. Whatever. Okay, so I have been sitting here reading my Bible. I wanted to show you guys my little Bible because it is actually pretty new. I got it a few weeks back. My other Bible, I ended up giving it to my mom a few years back, and honestly I just have not had one since. If I ever needed to refer to a Bible verse or something, I would just look it up on my phone. But I've been wanting like an actual Bible, like one that I can hold and sit and read. And I found this one on Amazon and I just absolutely love it. It is so cute. It's small, but it's not like too small. You know what I mean? It's like a little compact. And not to mention, look how pretty it is. I just love gold. So I was drawn to the little gold design and then the gold film on the pages. It's just pretty. It's the New Living Translation. I will link it below if you guys are interested. I love it. I really do. It's very easy to read. The words aren't too small. They're not like the big letters, but I don't like the Bibles with the tiny little, you have to like get a magnifying glass to see. It's just too much. It's too hard to read. So, I mean, this one's just all around perfect. I love it. And I keep it in this little sleeve just to keep it protected, and I keep it in my backpack. What else? This is a topic where I think it's only going to attract a certain audience because I know a lot of people really don't care. But it's something that I wanted to talk about because it is a pretty big change in my life. Going vegan. I grew up all my life in Arkansas and I've always been a meat lover. Steak and meat lovers pizza were like my favorite foods. Anything dairy, cheese. As a kid, I would get shredded cheese and I'd put it in a little bowl and I would just eat it straight out of the bowl. That was like my favorite snack. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever be vegan. To be honest, before I was knowledgeable on it, I was narrow-minded. So I used to like, I would make fun of people that were vegan, like, okay, whatever, you don't eat meat. But yeah, I can only imagine what people are thinking because growing up in Arkansas and then moving to California, you would think that's like a stereotypical type thing to do, to be trendy and be just like all the other Californians, live that whole liberal California vegan lifestyle. I mean, there's a lot of different titles, labels that you can put on it, but you get what I'm saying. You know, you don't see a whole lot of vegans living in Arkansas. They're meat eaters, you know. There's a lot of hunting out there, a lot of country people, and I was one of them. And my transition to California had absolutely nothing to do with going vegan. I never, ever, ever thought that I would be one. I never planned on it. I can't even really explain it. If somebody were to sit me down and say, what made you go vegan? I didn't really just like say, oh, I'm gonna be vegan now. It happened naturally. The last time I had meat was in February of this year, and it has not been difficult whatsoever for me not to eat meat. It's actually very, very strange how it all transpired because it's like I just started losing my taste for meat. To be specific, my last meal with meat in it was chicken Alfredo. Before that, even before that meal, I was starting to just not be hungry for meat. You know, my dad, he would make like turkey sandwiches and he would ask me, you know, like if I wanted one. And that's kind of like when I realized, like, I don't think I'm going to be eating meat anymore or much longer because it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. Turkey, chicken started kind of, I wouldn't say grossed me out, but it was just not appetizing. It didn't sound good. It didn't look good to me. I would opt out for veggies or fruit or, you know, something like that. Now, I didn't go like full-blown vegan all at once. I haven't talked to a lot of vegans, but I think that's kind of the case for most. it's kind of just a transition. This is honestly how I felt. Like I wasn't even, it's not like it was even something I was so proud of, like, because I've always been a meat lover. So I didn't just go around saying, oh, I'm vegan, like so proud of it. Like I kind of just didn't really talk about it until I had to. Like if somebody offered me food and it was meat or if it was dairy, then I would just be like, you know, I don't eat that. I don't eat that anymore. I still got my protein from other sources. My body just never craved it. I don't feel like I have any deficiency not eating meat. I'm pretty intuitive with my body. I stay active, I stay healthy. I make sure that the foods I'm eating have enough protein and vitamins in them. So I'm not depriving myself at all. But anyways, to go back, I noticed eggs were the next thing. I don't know. And you know, that was another thing I used to love. So back before I lived in my car and before I was in my last relationship, I lived in an apartment. I had my own apartment for about 5 years, 5 to 6 years. And I'd cook all the time. And I'd be so proud of myself. Like I would cook all these meals and I'd take little pictures and post them. And yeah, I was one of those people. But one of the main things that I loved to cook was breakfast food. I would make pancakes, eggs, sausage, biscuits, like all that kind of stuff. And so eggs have just always been one of my go-tos. And it's like all of a sudden, just eggs, I don't know, just the thought of them, the look of them, it just didn't appeal to me anymore. I was still like drinking milk, eating cheese, things like that, just for maybe like another month. So through March. And that would be the only part I kind of really, I wouldn't say struggle. It was never ever a struggle for me to transition. But I would like crave like yogurts or cheese, you know, things like that. But that's because I wasn't knowledgeable on all the vegan foods. Like this was just all new to me. I didn't even know that they made vegan cheese. There's just so many other options that took care of those cravings. I just didn't know about them yet. I was uneducated, so I had to educate myself and I had to shop around and look at labels and ingredients. And luckily, being in California, that does make it a lot easier. Vegan food is very accessible around here. So I started to learn about things that I could replace those dairy products with. And before I knew it, I just wasn't craving those things anymore. I know what my body craves and needs, and I'm able to find that in vegan friendly foods. And it wasn't all like smooth. So March was the last month of me consuming dairy and eggs. So I guess technically since March, I've been fully vegan. But like I said, this has all been kind of a learning experience, and I was still very uneducated. And there were times where in the months following March, just around the summertime, I've learned now and I don't do it anymore, but I would grab some stuff thinking that it's vegan and just overlooking the fact that it might have like milk products in it. So, you know, there were times I'd stumble on little things like that. For example, I got a bag of Sun Chips one time, and I got the sour cream and onion flavor, and just not even thinking about it, because my mind, I'm like, oh, chips, vegan, whatever, it's got milk in it. So little things like that I had to learn, and I had to like just really pay a little bit more attention to. I was very kind to myself, very patient. If I did happen to consume something that was non-vegan, I would tell myself, look, you have spent 32 years not being vegan, consuming milk, dairy products, meat, so you can't expect to just transition overnight. It's a process, and it's a learning process. So I had to be kind to myself, and I had to tell myself, like, it's okay. Like, you're learning and you'll get there. So if anyone's thinking about transitioning to being vegan, just remember that it's a process. So as time went on, it actually became very, very easy for me. I found new things that I love, that I enjoy. I knew that if I started feeling depleted in any way, or if I it wasn't just agreeing with my body. If I ended up getting like really low energy or something, then I probably wouldn't continue with the vegan diet. Here's what I have noticed since I've been on a vegan diet. I've never really had too much problems with acne. I do have like hormonal breakouts. I mean, you guys have probably seen, like I get like little acne scars. Like when I break out, it's usually like 1 or 2 around this area, hormonal stuff, you know. For the last 5 or 6 years, I would get like these little breakouts on my legs as well. It would be just like these little bumps, and I hated it. And on my arms, and they would flare up, but then they'd go away. But I mean, a lot of the times, like I didn't even want to wear shorts because of those little bumps, and I could not get them to go away. I'm like I would lay out in the sun, I would try different soaps, try different lotions, and I just could not really figure out. I'm just like, I guess this is just, you know, my body. I didn't really know. I haven't even been on a vegan diet for an entire year, so I can't really say that there's been a whole lot of changes, but the bumps, man, they don't exist anymore. They're gone. And that's really cool. Another thing I noticed that was a very positive change in my body, overall, I sleep better. I don't wake up heavy. I don't wake up real tired and sluggish and weighed down. I actually wake up pretty like energetic and revived, and I feel less bloated. My gut health is just so much better, resulting in more energy, because whenever you have issues going on in your gut, or if you're eating not so great foods, it can mess up the balance in your intestines, and that ultimately will play a part in your mood and your energy and everything else. It just overall feels so much better. I feel like I have more clarity. I am less foggy. I'm going to say this as well. I have astigmatism in both eyes, right? And I actually have prescription glasses, but I never wear them. Actually, they're right here. I've had these, oh my gosh, I've had these glasses for years. Can't even tell you how long I've had these. But these are my prescription glasses. My eyesight's not terrible. It really isn't. I used to wear these all the time for work and stuff. But my eyesight is significantly sharper. I don't need these. I don't wear these anymore. I'm not saying that my eyesight's perfect, but I don't get as many headaches. My vision isn't as blurred. I don't know if that has to do with my diet change, but I mean, that is something that I've noticed in the past few months. And I feel like things are only going to continue to get better as long as I stay on a vegan diet. It seems like things are just getting better overall with my overall health. That's why I like to show you guys these little things that I get from the store, because I myself get excited when I find something that's vegan that I enjoy. I find things like that chili. I can't even tell the difference. It tastes like a meat chili to me. So I don't feel deprived at all. I don't feel like I'm missing anything in my diet. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. It's just kind of like my new way of life. And a lot of people do it because it's trendy, or because there are a lot of health benefits to it, or they just need a change, or whatever reason. There's a lot of different reasons why people become vegan. And for me, it was just a natural transition. To sum it up, it just all kind of happened naturally. I can't really explain it. And I don't know if that comes with my spiritual journey, because God changes us in many different ways. Like once we decide to live for Him, we're not the same people that we used to be. That can mean physically. I mean, you see people with testimonies that used to be drug addicts, or they've had like really bad or crazy health issues, but when they turn their life over to God, they have like this glow about them. They are more energetic, they're more lively. It's because God restores us. I think that has to do with it. I think that's part of it. It's just a personal thing. Seeing meat doesn't bother me. Like I could go out like say I go, I don't have any friends, but like say I go out with a group of people and they all order meat, like that's not gonna bother me. I'm not one of those type of vegans. I'm not gonna get offended if you ask me if I want some meat. I'm just, you know, politely gonna say no, I no longer eat that. But I don't discriminate against anybody who does. I mean, former meat lover here. There's nothing wrong with eating meat. I don't see anything wrong whatsoever. I think that God provided meat on this planet for us to eat, for sure. I think that if you find a carnivore diet works well for you, then all the power to you. Keep doing it. You know, I'm not against that lifestyle at all. I just have to say this, and I think it's really, really funny. So these are just topics that would come up like in conversation. You know, like when you meet people, political views and things like that come up, those kind of topics. People are always so surprised when they know that I'm vegan, but then they hear about the other things that I believe in and don't believe in. Like they think if you're vegan, then you're gonna believe this, or you're gonna be on this side, or you're gonna be against this. That is so sad, guys. Just because I'm vegan does not mean I'm liberal, does not mean that I am pro, does not mean I'm gonna vote for. I mean, it's just all these crazy things. Like, guys, you got to stop putting labels on people. You got to stop putting people in categories. I like surprising people with my beliefs and unbeliefs because I don't put myself in a category. But I'm not even going to get into politics, guys. I'm not even going to go there. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like the stereotypes need to be broken. But yeah, that's kind of been my journey of becoming vegan. So far, I'm loving it, and I don't plan on going back to eating meat. I think that's just something that's no longer a part of my life anymore. It's something that I've grown out of. I feel like I'm changing every single day. Something new always happens. I'm always manifesting something different. God is changing me in so many different ways. I just don't want this to be taken out of context. I have to say this again, like it is a personal thing for me. It's a personal choice. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. I don't really promote veganism. I'm not like, oh yay, pro vegan, you know? I know the trend is growing, and I know a lot of people are like, they're curious, and they are still meat eaters, but they're kind of dabbling into certain little things here and there, kind of testing out the waters. And so that's why I like to share the things that I get, because I mean, it's exciting for me. It's something new. It's just a new thing in my life. So yeah, I'm just kind of rolling with that. This is just me. Whenever I set my mind to something or I make a change in my life, like I'm like all in. You know, I don't like being lukewarm in anything. I'm either all in or all out. Hence my YouTube name. Anyways, I think I'm gonna read my Bible for a little bit, to be honest. And I don't know. Figure out something. I'll figure out something. So I'm gonna go now, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you. Mwah.